Hello everyone, I'm Sophie and welcome to this 30-minute yoga for beginners. So we'll start by finding a comfortable seat, either with the legs crossed or you can have them straight. It can sometimes help to pop a block or a cushion just underneath your bottom, just to help lift the hips. You can also start by laying down. So take a few moments now to get nice and comfortable. And you can close your eyes or have a soft focus. And wherever you are, just take a moment just to let your body arrive. So arriving in the space that you are in today. If you've been busy before now, take a moment just to notice the stillness of the body. How does it feel to move from that busyness to being still, being settled? Noticing your body's connection to the ground, bottom on the floor, legs on the floor, hands on your knees. How does that sensation feel for you today? Now in the background, notice your breath. Your natural rise and fall of your pattern of breath, wherever you feel it the most. Maybe the belly, maybe the chest, maybe the air across the top of the nose as it enters through the nose. So for a moment, just notice. Notice if the breath is quick and shallow. Notice if it's long, slow. Neither is right or wrong, so just notice. Now we're going to start to count the breath. So we're going to take an inhale is a 1 and an exhale is a 2 up to the count of 10. So in your own time, take in 1 round of that. Inhale for 1, exhale 2, inhale 3, exhale 4 up to the count of 10 with your pattern, your speed of breath. Then when you've done that, release the awareness of the breath, release the awareness of anything. For a moment, let your mind wander. And now bring your awareness back into your body, that connection that your body has with the ground, your yoga mat, or a block, or whatever you're sat on. How does it feel? And finally, start to bring your awareness back into the space that you are in. Noticing any sounds, smells, temperature of the air. Gently begin to open your eyes. So we're going to start this practice in a child's pose. So making your way over into an all fours position, and then bring the knees either as wide as your mat or they can be together. Let the chest fold over the thighs and bring the forehead either to the ground or you can stay lifted. Wherever you are, this time you bring your awareness back to your breath and notice that the change of where you feel the breath. So maybe this time you feel it in the back of the body. Rib cage expands, spine expands. Take a few more breaths here. Just see if the longer you stay here, the more you can lengthen into the spine. And it doesn't matter if the heels are nowhere near the bottom is nowhere near the heels, but that is the general direction that they're going in. From here, begin to journey your body forwards into an all fours position, so that the knees are under the hips and the hands are under the shoulders. So spread the fingers nice and wide, and the first finger can either point forwards or the middle finger pointing forwards. So find what's comfortable for the hands. And we want to think about pressing every part of your hand into the mat. So the fingertips, the middle of the hand, the palm, all of the hand is pressing into the mat. And then spiral the arms so that the crease of the elbow is facing the short edge of your mat. From here, we're going to tuck the toes under and we're going to lift into a downward facing dog. So press through the balls of the feet, float the knees off the ground, start to press the chest back towards the thighs, and then lift the hips into the sky. And you can adjust the hands and the feet to a position that feels comfortable. The knees can be bent, the chest presses back towards the thighs, and think about those hands, are they pressing into the mat? And again, we're going to take a few breaths here. Feel how the breath has changed. Start to slowly walk the feet to the top of the mat. So we're going to take little baby steps. And if you get so far and you think that you need to take the hands off the ground, you can do that and just continue walking the feet to the top of the mat. When you get to the top of the mat, bring the hands to the shins, lift up halfway, squeeze the shoulder blades together, crown of the head reaches forwards. Space through the spine, space between the hips and the ribs. Nice. Well done. And then we're going to refold. So bring the hands down to the ground, let the chest fold over the thighs, forward fold. From here, start to slowly roll up the spine. So let the hands dangle, let the chin stay tucked to the chest. Start to roll all the way up to standing. When we get to standing, we stand at the top of the mat with the feet hip width apart, hands down by your side. This is called Tadasana, mountain pose. So this is our starting position for our sun salutations. From here, we're going to inhale and reach the hands over the head, let the palms touch, gaze up to the thumbs. Exhale, start to fold down. Bring the hands back down to the ground, let the head hang heavy, forward fold. On your next inhale, hands to shins, lift up through that flat back position, that half forward fold, nice. Exhale, start to fold again, chest over thighs, let the head hang heavy. And begin that roll up through the spine. So in yoga, we just start to gently move, start to bring movement into the body nice and slowly, nothing is rushed. Back to Tadasana. Inhale, lift the hands over the head, gaze to the sky. Exhale, fold from the hips and lead with the chest, bring the hands down to the ground. Inhale, lift up, halfway, flat back, squeezing those shoulder blades together, reaching the tailbone back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, start that slow roll all the way up through the spine. Nice, everyone. Well done. Inhale, this time we're going to add a bit more. Reach the hands over the head. Exhale, fold the chest over the thighs. Forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, lift up, halfway, flat back. This time as you exhale, plant the hands onto the ground and step the feet to the back of the mat, coming into a plank position. And you can drop the knees down as soon as you get there, that's no worry. From here, start to bring the weight over the wrists and drop the hips. Start to lower the chest down, keeping the elbows tucked. From here, we're going to roll the shoulder blades back and come into our low cobra. Elbows tucked down by your side. Squeeze the muscles of the back of the body. Nice. From here, we're going to press through all fours to come into a downward facing dog. So lift the hips to the sky. Adjust the feet if you need to. And then come back to your breath. Checking back in with the hands. Are all part of your hands pressed into the mat? Is the crease of the elbow shining forwards towards the short edge of the mat? From here, start those walks with the feet to the top of the mat. And again, if you need to lift the hands off to walk the feet there, do that. When you get there, lift up halfway, flat back. Exhale as you fold. And start your roll all the way up the spine, nice and slowly. So that was a sun salutation, and we'll do one more of those. Inhale, reach the hands high, gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, fold from the hips, one, dive down. Inhale, lift up, halfway, hands to shins. Nice. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back, plank. Navel to the spine as you lower the knees, untuck the toes. Travel the weight forwards over the wrists, hips drop, lower the chest. Roll the shoulder blades down the back of the body. Option, baby or low cobra, or maybe press into the hands, keeping the elbows bent, coming into a cobra. Be mindful of the time of day, be mindful of the flexibility of your own spine. From here, fold back down, press through all fours, back to downward facing dog. Lifting the tailbone up into the sky so that you can really straighten through the spine. Imagine a long line from the tailbone all the way down to the crown of the head. And again, we're going to start to walk the feet to the top of the mat, however they get there. When you do, lift up halfway, flat back. Exhale to fold. Well done, everyone. Inhale, roll up through the spine, back to Tadasana. Take a moment to reset, standing at the top of the mat. Feet hip width apart, navel drawing in towards the spine, hands down by your side. From here, we're going to take a big step back with the right foot, coming in to a high lunge. So the left knee is bent and we're on the ball of that back foot. Nice. Reach the hands up to the sky. Take a moment to breathe, remembering all the things. If you were taking part in a pose a day for beginners, remembering all the little pointers. If not, hips are facing forwards, bending into that left knee. From here, we're going to drop the right heel down to the ground and make the foot come in line with the back of the mat. The left knee bends and the heels are in line, coming into warrior two. So we're opening out through the hips, reaching the fingertips away from each other. Taking a few breaths here. From here, straighten your left leg. Start to reach that left hand to the top of the mat and let it float down to wherever feels comfortable. That can be the shin, that could be your thigh. You could also take a block and place it under your left hand. Right hand reaches up to the sky, twisting the chest up towards the ceiling. Gaze up to that right hand. Triangle pose. Don't forget to breathe. Gazing down to the left hand. Bend into that left knee. Remove the block if you have it. Come all the way back up to warrior two. And then step the right foot to the top of the mat. Reset back in Tadasana. We'll go on the other side. So the left foot steps back, coming into your high lunge. Reach the hands high. Breathe through the nose. Really reconnect to the breath while we're in these poses. And then the left heel drops. Open the hips out. Heels align. Warrior two. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Pressing the body down into the center of the legs. We're not moving forwards, we're not moving back. And then straighten your right leg. Reach the hand to the top of the mat. Let it float down to wherever feels comfortable. Left hand reaches high. Straight line from the bottom hand to the top. Gaze up to the ceiling, or if that's uncomfortable for the neck, you can look down to your foot. And if these poses are uncomfortable, remember the breath. The breath will keep you here in this present moment. It'll keep you focused. And bend into that right knee, come all the way up. Warrior two. And from here, step back to the top of the mat, reset the feet, back to Tadasana. We're going to step the right foot back again into your high lunge. So one more chance to practice this. Reach the hands high. Take a breath, take a moment, hips face forwards. And then from here, we're going to step that right foot in slightly at a 45-degree angle. So the legs stay in the same position, left knee bent, but that back foot is coming in and the right foot is at a 45-degree angle. So the step is shorter. And if you're wobbly, maybe take the feet out a little bit more. Warrior one. And then from here, straighten that leg, left leg just for a second. Reach the hands a little bit higher. And then step the right foot to the top of the mat. Give the legs a shake. We'll go on the other side. Left foot steps back, coming into your high lunge. So staying here just for a moment, just to take a chance to get the hips to face forwards before we move into warrior one. And then step that left foot in slightly, heel drops, back foot 45 degrees, right knee, maybe a slightly less of a bend than in the high lunge. Reach the hands high, warrior one. So this should have a nice stretch down the back of the left leg. If it's too much for the hands to be lifted for all this time, you can bring them to the hips. You could even just bring them down to the heart center. And then straighten that right leg. We'll take warrior one, but just straightening the right leg. Reach the hands high. And then step the left foot to the top of the mat. And again, reset back to Tadasana. From here, we're going to work through that balance, that tree pose. So remembering if you did a pose a day, the options, if not, I'll talk you through. So we're going to start by lifting the right knee. So the option is for the right heel, to be in line with the left ankle. And you can keep your hands on your hips or you can bring them to the heart center. The next option is for the sole of the right foot to be onto the inside of your left shin. And if this is good, you can stay here. The final option is to take hold of your right foot, place it onto the inside of your left thigh. If you can't get that foot as high or higher than your knee, don't press onto your knee. Hands stay at the hips or you can bring them to the heart center. Balance can be tricky, so pick a point on the floor to focus your awareness on. Nice, well done everyone. And again, don't forget to breathe. And then release the right leg down. Give the feet a bit of a shake. And going on the other side. So either the left heel, to the right ankle. The left foot to the inside of your right shin. Or taking hold of your left foot and placing it on the inside of your right thigh. And again, just not pressing into the knee. If you can't get it this high, then going back to that previous option. Hands at the heart center, at the hips. Maybe you use them to hold on to something, that's absolutely fine. Pick that point on the floor, focus your awareness. Come back to your breath if you need it. Nice, everyone. And then gently release the leg. Give the feet a shake. We'll stand back at the top of the mat. We'll inhale to reach the hands high. Exhale, fold the chest down over the thighs. Inhale one last time, lift up halfway, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands. This time we're going to step the right foot to the back and drop the right knee down. Untuck your back toe. Press through your left leg to lift up into that low lunge this time. So the knees down, the hips are facing forwards. We'll work through two variations. So firstly, tuck the tailbone under. Feel that stretch across the front of the quad, the hip flexor. And again, the hands can reach high. They can be at the heart center, they can be at the hips. They can even just rest on your thigh. Take a breath. And then wherever you are, see if you can bring the hands down to the ground. This time we're going to just bring the weight forward, just to come a little bit deeper into these hips. And if it's too much, you can definitely stay where we were in whatever variation suited your body. Come back to your breath if you need it, if it's uncomfortable, if it's hard on the hips, use that breath to ease yourself into this. We're going to swap legs. So tuck your back foot under, and we're going to step your right foot to the top of the mat. So lift the back knee, step the right leg forwards, and step the left leg back. And don't worry if that transition didn't work, just make your way to the opposite side. So the left knee is down, we use the right leg to press the body up into space, reach the hands high. Taking your variation of a lunge, tuck the pelvis under as you feel that stretch across the front of the quads. Hands wherever feels comfortable for you. And then if you can, bring the hands down, frame your right foot. Dipping into the hips a little bit more this time if this is good, if not, coming back to where we were. And then again, we're going to lift off that back leg to bring ourselves to the top of the mat. So lift that left knee, step it to the top of the mat. And then we're going to make our way down onto the back of our body. And again, don't worry about the transitions. If you're new to yoga, this is something that can seem a little bit strange or difficult. So getting onto the back of the body, whatever way feels comfortable for you. We're going to hug the knees in towards the chest, and it can feel quite nice to maybe rock from side to side. And in yoga we end with Shavasana. So finding a comfortable position for you to lay, so you can bring the feet to the width of the mat and let the knees drop into the center. You can reach the feet to the corners of your mat and let the feet drop to the side. Hands can be on the belly, or they can be down by your side with the palms either facing the ceiling or placed on the floor. Get yourselves nice and comfortable. Take the time to get comfortable. There's nothing worse than having to adjust during Shavasana, so really take this time now. Taking a deep inhale through the nose, and alongside to let it go through the mouth. Releasing the efforts of the practice that we just did together. Allowing yourselves to settle down into the mat. Notice how you feel after that practice. If it's the first one you've done, take this time to notice. Now allow your mind to rest. Allow your body to rest. Here in stillness. supported by the ground, by the earth as you lay here. Now start to deepen your breath. You can take that big deep inhale through the nose, sigh through the mouth if that feels good. You can start to bring some movement back into your body. Maybe that starts with a wiggle of the fingers and the toes. Nice and slowly through these movements. There's no rush to get back to standing. If you do have longer, you can stay here for as long as you like. If you're coming with me, then maybe you start to circle the wrists, circle the ankles. You can reach the hands behind the head, take a full body stretch all the way from the fingertips to the toes. Hugging the knees in towards the chest, give yourselves a big hug. And again, that rock from side to side can feel nice as it massages your back on the earth. And now slowly making your way back up to that seated position that we started the class with. There's absolutely no rush to get there, taking slow movements. And again, cross-legged or legs stretched out. Close your eyes and gather your hands to touch at the heart center. Take one last deep inhale through the nose and a sigh to let it go. Thank you everybody for practicing with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you.